Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. And hey, forget whatever boring equations you might remember from high school, because today we are exploring one of the most incredible and honestly, oddly specific dates in all of math history. We're talking about June 12th, and trust me, it is way more significant than it sounds. Because on this exact day, stretching across different centuries and totally different countries, a handful of brilliant minds basically built the hidden mathematical architecture of our modern digital world. In fact, as we follow the script structure outlined in the source document titled ENG we'll see it's actually almost spooky how a single date on the calendar can connect so many world-changing ideas. So, we're going to make 4 specific stops on this timeline. We're going to meet the masterminds who literally found the invisible patterns hiding inside pure chaos. Let's step through them one by one and uncover how their monumental discoveries completely shape the way we live right now. All right, let's start with a modern marvel. Why does your phone always know exactly where you are? Seriously, whether you're hunting down a new coffee shop or navigating a completely foreign city, your map app effortlessly calculates the fastest route. And it does this by relying on absolutely perfect coordinates from space. While the answer to that navigational magic actually predates satellites by over a century. Crazy, right? It traces all the way back to June 12th, 1835, and a brilliantly meticulous English instrument maker named Edward Troughton. Now, Troughton was completely obsessed with precision. He invented an incredibly precise mathematical method for dividing circles on astronomical tools, perfectly by hand. You see, since the Earth is a sphere, dividing circles with absolute, zero-error precision is literally the only way to accurately map longitude and latitude. That foundational geometry? Yeah, that's exactly how our GPS coordinates pinpoint you today.
Just think about that for a second. Every flawless digital map you follow today, every satellite guiding your car from orbit, actually started with a 19th century inventor perfectly dividing circles on pieces of brass. So next time your phone guides you home, maybe send a little mental thank you to Edward Troughton.
Okay, still on June 12th, but now we're going to jump forward in time to the year 1904. We're crossing the globe to uncover an even bigger idea, moving from physical navigation to the very foundation of machine intelligence itself. Have you ever stopped to really wonder how our computers, or even advanced AI, actually make logical choices? How do they seem to, think and analyze, when at the end of the day, they're really just hunks of metal, silicon, and wire? The logic behind that remarkable illusion of thinking goes back to a brilliant Polish mathematician born on, you guessed it, June 12th, 1904. His name was Adolf Lindenbaum, and his work entirely shifted the computing paradigm. He created what we now call the Lindenbaum algebra. He essentially took human reasoning, like saying, hey, if it's raining outside, then the ground must be wet, and translated it into strict, inflexible mathematical rules. He built an algebra of pure logic, and today, those exact rules are the binary foundations our computers use to process absolutely every piece of information. Tragically, Lindenbaum's life was cut short. He was killed during the Second World War. But his genius? It definitely wasn't lost to time. That invisible logic he mapped out by hand all those decades ago lives on right now. It is running silently inside every single smart device we touch. All right, same specific date, just many years later. We are jumping forward to June 12th, 1980, to explore exactly how our modern digital world manages to process massive, unimaginable amounts of data without getting totally overwhelmed. So, why does your favorite social media app always seem to know exactly what video you want to watch next? How can a simple algorithm predict your behavior so perfectly out of millions of possible options? It almost feels like it's reading your mind, doesn't it? Well, this spooky predictive power actually traces back to June 12th, 1980, and the groundbreaking work of an English statistician named Egon Pearson. Along with his colleague, Pearson built the robust mathematical framework for what we call hypothesis testing. Imagine trying to listen to just one specific whisper in a crowded, super noisy stadium. Pearson created a statistical method to minimize errors and filter out all that noise when drawing conclusions from massive, messy sets of data. It's literally the gold standard that data scientists use today to predict what you'll click on next. It feels a lot like magic, but I promise you it's not. Every single time data correctly predicts your next move, your next online purchase, or your next favorite song, it is directly applying the rigorous mathematical tests Pearson helped invent. One calendar date. So many incredibly powerful stories. Let's make our final historical stop on June 12th, jumping just a few short years ahead to 1985. Think about the sheer scale of the modern internet for a moment. How can massive global networks route millions of connections simultaneously without the whole system just instantly collapsing? I mean, why does your 4K video stream run so flawlessly even when half the planet is online at the exact same time? The answer to that infrastructure miracle leads us straight to June 12th, 1985, and one of China's most legendary and influential mathematical minds, Loo-Keng. Loo-Keng had a truly unique gift. He took highly abstract theoretical number theory and turned it into operations research, which is essentially the math of complex logistics. Think of it like having a god's eye view of a colossal traffic jam. He created mathematical models that help us find the absolute most efficient paths, optimizing massive networks so data flows continuously without ever causing a digital pileup. He ultimately taught us how to mathematically find the fastest, safest route through a million chaotic digital possibilities. Every seamless, instantaneous connection you make online today owes a massive debt to his pioneering work. So let's look back at this incredible timeline we've walked through. Edward Troughton, Adolf Lindenbaum, Egon Pearson, and Loo-Keng. We've got 4 completely different eras, 4 massive technological pillars, all irrevocably tied to June 12th. Every single person we met today, despite living in different centuries and entirely different cultures, dedicated their lives to answering the exact same foundational question: what is the true pattern hiding inside the chaos? Because they dared to ask that question, our modern world is seamlessly equipped with global GPS, deep computing logic, predictive algorithms, and a lightning-fast internet. June 12th is truly a golden thread in the fabric of mathematical history. So I leave you with this to ponder. What hidden pattern will you